Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar from CFA certification. It will be about practicing the instant management on ITIL, especially version 4, and how it will help you for a continuous improvement and what kind of different aspects of different points of view can be applied to your instant management process. On the live tracking of this webinar, we have a low number of attendants, so no worries. I hope most of the attendees will be watch it later after the YouTube record has done because I'm exercising this webinar from Turkey, so there's a time difference between Turkey and the UK and the other rest of the world. So as you see, I will start with introducing a short, brief introduction of myself. As you can see, my name is Umut. Right now resident here in Turkey. After I spent some 12 or 13 years at the executioner side of some management systems, mostly on IT-based management systems like ISO 27K, 20K, and 22301. Now I'm at the for 7 or 8 years, something like that. Now I'm at the other side of the table, let me say, working as a trainer and auditor for these three standards and ITIL, of course, for CFE certification and executing these practices in different countries of the world. After I introduce myself, let me introduce a brief introduction of CFE certification. As you can see, CFE certification is an audit and training and certification company established by a very dear friend of mine. We were friends in Turkey, and he just started this business at UK. And as you can see on the map, there's a lot of countries that they are executing the services for both certification and training, and if it needed, audit and gap analysis as well for different types of standards. I am only an executioner of three of them. We'll be speaking about, as I told you, the incident management and how it help you to go for a better situation of yours, especially when you are trying to execute a service management system. And for short, we are all now calling it as an ITIL. So right now, I don't know how many of you get the training for ITIL version 4, but the most difference between ITIL version 3 and 4 is two main differences actually. One is be more adaptable about with the agile and DevOps kind of SDLC flows, software development flows. This is the one difference from version 3 to version 4. But the second one is more important. It is mostly about collaborating and cooperating and creating the value for all stakeholders while you are providing services, and the stakeholders include yourself as a service provider. So when we spoke about ITIL version 4 trainings, including the incident management process, which is the topic of ours today, we'll be speaking about think outside the box of version 3 of ITIL, and you can create continuous improvement for different angles of different, how can I say, scopes or different dimensions of your service management. So this webinar will be mostly based on to change your perception about instant management and continuous improvement based on instant management. So first of all, we have to speak about instant management. The instant management refers an unplanned interruption of a service or a decline in service quality. So when we spoke about service quality, most of the people just, how can I say, think the IT service quality based on its continuity. So especially, let me open a parenthesis in here, especially in non-English speaking countries, the word of SLA sometimes misused. So the letter of A at the end of the SLA means an agreement, but sometimes it is thought that availability. So we heard when we were auditing companies for ISO 20K, we heard the sentence of we gave 99% SLA to our customers. No, you gave a 99% availability promise to your customers in your SLA, in your agreement. So when we spoke about declining the service quality, you have to first of all define the service quality. It's not only about availability. So, for example, yes, availability is a service quality that you give as a promise, like we're going to give a 99% of availability promise to you. It's not this webinar subject how you are going to, or how you should set the availability goals, or how you should set how you should measure the availability performance of yours. It is all another subject. Maybe we will speak it in the future. But all right, availability thing is one service quality promise you gave, or another service quality of yours is how you or how fast you are going to resolve the incidents and problems. So you have to define what is an incident, and you have to define, so when you open a ticket, we are going to resolve it within 3 hours. Let me say if it's a major one, it's going to be 2 hours. Just an example. How you differentiate the incidents as a major or minor, it's all up to you, and we can give the examples on maybe another session of ours. And also maybe you can give a percentage of resolved incidents within promised time gaps. So for example, if you say we are going to resolve your normal instance within 3 hours, and we are going to resolve 95% of the incidents within the time limit of it is designated significance within 1 month, let me say. So it can be another service quality as well. But if you look at the angle, it is all about service management. So when you speak about ITIL, the long version of it, Information Technologies Infrastructure Library, when it's created for the first time for British Army, I think, it is only about running an IT infrastructure in a smooth way. But at the year of 2025, you can just think outside the box, and you are receiving services all of your life. It doesn't necessarily has to be an IT service. So, for example, when you order a pizza and this pizza place says we are going to deliver the pizza within 30 minutes, this is an SLA that the pizza provider gave to you. Or if somehow you can measure it when you go for an hospital, and if you can somehow measure if you restore your health or not, I don't know. And then you are receiving a health service in here as well. So the service quality can be can manifest itself in different sectors, in different industries, different sectors, and different ways. So when we are speaking about service management trainings, we always say to the companies that do not think you only as a service provider, think yourself as a service acquirer or service customer in your private life, and you can think how you can put yourself in your customer's shoes, and you can just think about how what they're going to expect, and how we can create service quality for a better way. So after this, let me say long parenthesis, we can spoke about instant magic itself. All right, so we spoke about service quality means different things. The instant refers an unplanned interruption of a service or a decline in service quality. So the purpose of this instant management is to restore normal service operations ASAP, and as soon as possible, and as quickly as possible, and to minimize the negative impact of incidents. But so when you resolve an incident, it of course creates an improvement in the eyes of your customers, because they were in a status they don't like to be in. They want to use the service with an uninterrupted way, or they want to use the service, whatever SLA you gave to them. But If it is not working as you promised, then they are in a situation which is not good. And if you resolve it, so you can see it in here. Let me see. So every instant you resolve means a better service delivery. But you can improve the services in your processes, in experiences, or sorry for the ring bell. You can create improvements in your services, in your processes, or maybe in your infrastructure. So first of all, in order to do that, we have to find out the root cause, and and the root cause doesn't necessarily mean to, how can I say, hidden itself within your own operations. So we'll be speaking about it later. So when we resolve an incident, it is going to be a better service delivery if we use this incident as an opportunity for continuous improvement. So how we are going to speak about this one? Sorry for this. Animation just pops up early. Yeah. So which incidents we are going to use? So these types of incidents, when you have enough data in year 2024 or 2025 or this version or this new chapter of ITIL, when you have enough data, uh, you can find the root cause of your incident. And the root cause, as I told you in a couple of minutes ago, doesn't necessarily has to be your burden. So first of all, you have to get a lot of data, like instant. You can analyze instant trends, but what trends, for example? So when when you don't have this detailed data, so in his with which data we're going to speak about. So when you don't uh, detailed or enough data, you can get a very rough, uh, how can I say, picture of your performances. Like we promised to our customers in our SLA that we are going to resolve their incidents within 3 hours. But when we take this report, we saw that in the last 3 months, our performance is above the par, which is 4 hours. So when you look like that, the burden is on your side. But maybe I'm just thinking out not right now. So do you have a more detailed data like instant trends? So for example, you are in an inner IT company or inner IT department providing services to inner business units, and in that business unit, uh, hundreds, maybe 100 cases are opened. So you resolve 99 of them below the par, which is 3 hours, for example, and you just resolved one of them, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 hours. So when you took the average, as you don't have the detailed data, when you took the average calculation, you saw your performance are below the par. But as you can see, there is something wrong about this just one incident. So do you have any detailed data about this one? So for example, maybe your customer has a lot of employees or users which they can give the correct information to you at the 99 of these 100 incidents, and maybe they can give you correct error codes. I don't know, maybe you can they can give the correct address, maybe they can give you the correct IP. I don't know right now. Okay, just one guy cannot give you the correct error code, cannot give you the correct answer. So when you try to find out what's wrong with this guy, or when you're trying to find out where is he, or where is he located, or what's his address, or what application is he using, I don't know. So you try to figure it out. You spent 15 hours for just one incident because of your customer has a shortcoming right now, but you didn't have this detailed data, and the customer can say you that, all right, guys, I'm sorry, but you are above the par, so you have to compensate me, or you have to sorry. So I don't know what you have to do, but in this case, the burden is their side. Do you have this data? Or, for example, again, you have this 100 cases, right? And you have a level one, for example, you have a level one problem resolution team, work with five guys in working in this level one team. And this 99 of these 100 cases are resolved with the four guys by this very professional and guys who know what they're do, four of guys, and they're doing everything below the par. They're resolving everything within 2 hours or 2.5 hours, which is below the par of three. But there's just one guy working in your site right this time, and he cannot connect to the customer, or he cannot find the correct solution within your knowledge library, or maybe he uh, forgets to open a change ticket for resolving that instance, which creates a longer unavailable time. No. So if you have this detailed information, so what you are going to change is the capability of this one guy, not everyone, not your whole service management system. Or maybe you have this recurring issues. So maybe you have uh, 20 users and only two users are creating the same ticket over and over again. And when you don't have detailed data, again, you just tell that for the last month we are below above the par, above our service objectives. But when you have a depth in an in-depth look, when you have in-depth data, maybe you will find that these two recurring issues running on two client devices with the Windows 10, which is not supported by the Microsoft for the 1 month. So this you have the Defender is maybe is not running correctly, or you cannot log into this Windows 10 machines. I don't know. So you don't have this detailed data. If you don't have this detailed data, then you're gonna take this burden for yourself, of course. And so again, maybe again this how can I say, analysis of instant transfer maybe point your service provider. So when you provide the service, you acquire service sometimes as well. So you acquire service from your local internet service provider on ISP, and you are providing internet service to your customers, for example, all right? But if your ISP is not executing their service promises to you as they promised, then you cannot provide this internet service to your customers. But the customers don't know your provider; they know you. So maybe they are opening tickets to you, and you are forwarding these tickets to your ISP. Do you have this data? Maybe this just one ticket make your performance over the SLA promise of yours. This one ticket is because of your service provider. So again, get a lot of data, and this is the different approach of ITIL version 4, and this is our main subject on today. That if you have this detailed data, you will find who is this improvement burden, who has to carry this burden on their shoulders. Maybe you, maybe your one level one guy, maybe your provider, maybe your customer. So you have to find it back. So this data and feedback approach is crucial for how can I say, your service provide your continuous improvement on your services. So for example, most of the times, if we sorry. So when we are giving trainings to people, the ITIL version for trainings, all the time I gave an example. And this all the time I give this example, and I asked the same question. And the question was, all right, guys, so assume that you have 100 incidents open to you within the last month, and when you have the detailed analysis, you will see the 95 of them is I forgot my password thing. So what you should do. And with no exception, every training, every time I ask this question, I get the same answers. They say, we're going to create a self-service, and the users can uh, handle whatever they do. They can change their passwords. So we are not going to handle this kind of simple things, and we can uh, shift our focus on the more value-added things. But no one is replying me in that question like, can you give me any further information about our customers? No one is asking this question for this example. So if anyone asked me this example, maybe anyone asked would have been asking this question. So my answer will be, thank you for asking me, but okay, your customers mostly age of 70 or above. So based off the negative things happen with we get the age, so we forget things, and of course with people over the 70 years of age, most of them cannot be used self-services, so they keep forgetting passwords, and they have to call the call centers, and they have to justify their identifications, and based off them they're going to reset their passwords, right? But if you don't know your customer, which is also a very detailed data itself, if you don't know your customer, then you are going to write down, for this example, a self-service, and you think that everything will be smooth. So we are not going to resolve 95% of this instance, but the point is you start to lose your customers because it is right now impossible for them to reset their password. So another data is, who is your customer? What are their perception of value? Are they okay with your continuous improvement? So sometimes improvements are not improvements. So when you do an improvement, it has to first work for your customers. If it does not work for your customers, do not do that. Okay, so it is also another data itself. So what is the quality reduction of our services? And I don't know which configuration items this instance are related to, which as a trend, which customer it is related to, which help desk people it is related to, and to which customers are affected. No, you have to get this kind of very detailed data. So this data will be, it can be your instant frequency or solution times, or maybe impact analysis, like which service it is happening right now. And also, there is no one and single resolution for everything. So if you find out, for the previous examples, let me speak about again. If you find out 95% of your incidents are I forgot my password thing, and if the majority of your customers below the age of 70 in this case, so you shouldn't change your process. You have to handle it as it were. But if you find that the vast majority of your customers are familiar with the technological use, then write your service self-service. But if you find out half of your customers are elderly and half of them are not, then you cannot choose it. You have to run both ways, like resetting the password with a phone and resetting the password by a self-service. So there is no one single resolution for every instant type. Maybe you have to keep both flows or three or four flows up and running at the same time. So you have to create some kind of, how can I say, as an based on this example, you have to find some kind of knowing your customer thing, which is also a continuous improvement. So maybe when they're calling you, you have an IVR, and you're gonna ask the people, press one if you're elderly, press two if you are not, and the flows will be executed. And maybe if they're elderly, more than 70, I'm just sticking to my example right now because the examples can be differentiated. I'm trying to make you understand the concept. So the continuous improvement, not first continuous improvement has to be for the customer, that's for sure. But if you do that, the continuous improvement at the both ways for your customer and for yourself can be done as well. So in this case, press one if you're over 70, press two if you're below 70, and if you press two, they will charge you a 10% more because you are going to run a self-service, or if you press one, we are going to charge you 50% less than our normal service fee because you are an elderly, maybe you have retired. So we are going to create a social point of view, continuous improvements as well. So when you do that, you didn't lose your audience. You're just trying to make money for the self-service users, and you just continuous improvement for financial point of view, continuous improvement for service quality point of view, and you just created a continuous improvement for social point of view, all right? So uh, how can I say, the most important stakeholder is the customer, but you can create different continuous improvements for different stakeholders from different different types, different aspects. So you have to find your KPIs and SLA performance data. And as I told you, you have to get measurable outputs for continuous improvements. So the feedback loop in this case is uh, important. So, for example, you get these improvement suggestions from your operational teams, like, hello, boss, we just realized that 95% of these calls are about, I forgot my password thing, so we should do that. We should do something about that. And as the boss, let me say, I will ask the question I just asked to you on this webinar. Just know how many of the people using this 95% of services, please find me this data and we will get a continuous improvement thing in here as well. Or maybe the improvement suggestions can come from suppliers because they are service providing to you. And maybe some of the instances you just forward it to your supplier. And in this time, in this case, they are the ones who are creating solutions in behalf of you. Maybe they can create this kind of continuous improvement ideas for themselves and they can give this idea to you. And also post-instant reviews will be helpful for us. Even though you can resolve everything, you don't want to be deal it again and again and again. So you can speak about your post-incident reviews, PIR for short, as it is written on ITIL version for trainings. But note that not every improvement starts with an instant, or what is an instant to you as a service provider. So there's a perfect example I love to give about the ATM machines, for example. So everyone is using ATM machines, and until a very recent times, when you go for an ATM machine for cash withdrawal, remember what you do. You just insert your card and you just push the buttons for your PIN and for the execution and for the amount of money you want, and you take the money and you just go back to your home. See, you just forget your card, the bank card within the ATM machine. So you are going to open an instance saying that I forgot my bank card, debit card within the ATM, and the bank is just cancel your debit card and create a new one and send it to you. But when you look at this case, as the service provider, in this case as the bank, you do everything right. So you keep the money at the ATM and you keep the confidentiality of the customer's information. And when the customer puts in the card and pushes the buttons for PIN, you just give the correct amount of money. And when the customer tells you that he or she forgot the card, you just provide them a new card. You did everything right. For your point of view, there is no incident. The service quality right now where it should be. But you just don't want to deal with this instance no more, even though it's not an instant, even though you are giving the service quality as it should be. But you just want to deal with them because there are a lot of opportunity cost in here. So when you seize a card, when you cancel a card and send a new one, the card printing things like is a cost for you, and the guys who are handling the postal or the courier services for these cards is a cost for you, and you are uh, occupying a couple of people on your side for handling this thing. And during, I don't know, maybe I just call you and I tell I forgot my card, and 10 days it took for you to send me the card. For the 10 days I'm using another bank, so this is another opportunity cost for you. So what you did is give the card first, give the cash later, because your perception of value at the ATM machine is to get get the money. Until you get your value, you didn't leave the machine. So you just created a continuous improvement here as well. So your costs are lowered. Maybe this one case, including this tolls and licenses and this plastic of the card and the postal pack, everything, and maybe you are using, I don't know, 15 or 20 pounds for this all operation, and you did that for 100,000 times in a year. So do the math, and you have a continuous improvement for yourself and for the customer. Right now, the customers are still having your cards. They didn't forget their cards, first of all. And second, you have a cost saving. Maybe you can direct the annual cost you saved, 50% of them to your profit, 25 of the cost will be, I don't know, forwarded to your wage budget, yearly wage budget, and the rest 25 is forwarded to your customers as a reduction of your card operation fees. See, everyone's happy right now. And this happiness doesn't start with an incident, even though you are doing everything is right. So again, let me tell you about the first question I asked you. What is an incident to you? Even though everything is perfect. So you have to take your, again, data, and you have to take your analysis and trends to be taken under consideration. So when we spoke about problem management, so the problems are the root causes of the incidents. So when you provide, so you have the data for the root causes. So when you get this kind of data, when you this kind of, how can I say, in-depth look to your trend analysis, you can find the root cause. The root cause may be the age of the people, your customers. The root cause may be the Windows 10 machines. The root cause may be just one and only guy who cannot give you the proper information about the incident on customer side. Maybe the root cause is just one guy at your level one solution center with no appropriate training. Or your root cause may be the appropriate, how can I say, documents cannot be found. So maybe your root cause is not the service. The root cause is your document management system, I don't know, or your knowledge management system. So if you have this kind of data, you will find the correct root cause, and you will get the acts on the correct way, and it is going to create some continual improvement to you. And the last next, let me say, flight will be what kind of continuous improvements you will get if you have this kind of approach. So you can create the correct permanent solutions, because if you cannot know the correct root cause, it's impossible for you to create the correct permanent solutions. And of course, you are going to prevent this instance can be occur again and again and again. So when you do this, when you have this in-depth data, and when you think outside the box, and you can think about the root cause, can be your burden, or can be customers, or can be providers, or can be one guy in your side or other side, what kind of practical contributions you get, what kind of continuous response? Of course, the faster response and resolution, because you know that how we are going to handle the same instant. Maybe you are going to do it as an uh, a scheduled job, or maybe you are going to create a wiki, or you are going to create a frequent asked questions, or you're going to create a YouTube page for yourself for your customers to help for self help. I don't know, but you can create a faster response and resolution. Because when you create a faster response and resolution, the customer will be more satisfied, and of course, the reduced service costs you will see. So for this, uh, you are not going to face the same instance no more. So you don't have to allocate your people, allocate your time, allocate your, I don't know, providers, service providers to this incident type. You can get rid of by doing something on your side, on customer side, on CI side, configuration item side, or on service provider side. I don't know. So when you get rid of this kind of info incident, then the service cost will be lower. And of course, you are going to utilize your opportunity cost in a better way. So you are no more allocating this 10 guy for the same incident over and over again. So you can allocate these guys for faster response time, more satisfied customer, and the increased number of customer. Or maybe when you get this 10 guy out of this now can be resolved incident, maybe you can use these guys for platinum or gold type of service providing. You are going to choose 10 of these guys or nine of them with more experience, and you are going to make them sit in a different room, and you are going to call them as a gold service provider guys, and you are going to promote this thing. Our dear customers, if you are going to pay us 50% more, then you are going to be a gold service supplier. So we're going to resolve your instance more faster way. So you're gonna you win more money. You're gonna get more money. Or another opportunity cost. So you can use this 10 guy, for example, again in a different project maybe. And you can get this project up and running earlier than expected. And you are going to start making money in both projects. For the first one, with the incident no more you are dealing with, and the second one, which you allocate this 10 guys to the new one, and you can just run the other project in a faster way, right? So this, of course, creates your profitability, and you can use this profit by whatever you want. You can continuously improve your profitability, or you can continuously improve your salary budget, or you can continuously improve by declining the service cost to your customers. Again, uh, if I'm going to sum it up, let me say the incident management is the heart of the continuous improvement, but the data is the heart of this improvement as well. But which data? Again, as I told you, please do not put yourself in the very classical and how can I say the orthodox box of customers always right. So if something has to be corrected, it has to be on my side. No, just outside think outside the box. But you want to think outside the box, you have to get the data outside the box. So get more data as you can, as much as you can do. And with this data, just think that some things can be continuously improved on the other side of the service providing thing. All right, so it is almost about 40 minutes of me talking. And thank you for your time on the live audience and the audience that they are going to watch it on the record on YouTube. But if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer right now. All right, I took the silence as everything is okay. So, as I told you, for the live applicants and the rest, which is going to watch it on the YouTube on the recording, thank you for your time. And if you want to uh, follow the CFL certification for upcoming webinars or maybe trainings, or what kind of courses or audits or gap analysis or certification they can provide to you, you can get this information from them as well. And thank you for your time. And with our certification team, you will get a certificate for attendance. Again, thank you for your time. And there's a chat in here. So let me choose one. All right, see if Fittings created this. I think a questionnaire about the webinar. I hope that you are happy about this one. So thank you very much for your time and hope to see you